This compatibility is the key. You do not manifest a new timeline by wanting it harder. You manifest it by no longer sustaining the old one.
week.
When attention, emotion, and identity disengage, reality reorganizes
1
itself
week
around
in
what
here.
remains. What remains is who you are
Step
now.
3.
There may be moments of grief during this transition, not because something bad
2
happened,
weeks.
but because
Step
something
3.
meaningful ended. Grief is not always about loss. Sometimes it is about completion. Allow it. It is part of the release. Do not rush to replace what is leaving.
3 weeks to step 3.
The space is the bridge. As the old timeline fades, the new one sharpens. Synchronicities increase. Ease appears in unexpected places. You find
4
yourself in
weeks
the right
to step
place without
3.
trying. These are not rewards. They are confirmations that the shift is locking in.
And
You may still feel echoes of the old timeline, habits tugging,
God.
thoughts resurfacing. This does not mean you are going
1,
backward.
2,
It means the
3,
transition is
4,
integrating.
5,
Echoes
6,
fade when they are not
7,
fed.
8, 9,
Tonight,
10,
you are not
11,
being asked to
12,
leap into the
13.
future. You are being asked to stop holding the past in place.
13
Let the
days to
timeline that
step
no longer
2.
matches you dissolve with dignity. Thank it silently. Release it gently. You do not need to burn bridges to cross thresholds. The new timeline is not somewhere else. It is already forming around the version of you that exists now. And with each moment of alignment, you step into it without force, without fear, without announcement. This is how realities change. Quietly, naturally, inevitably. Chapter 9. When old patterns lose their grip. There is a moment in every genuine transformation when effort quietly exits the process. Not because
I
discipline has
thought this
failed,
was a
but
2
because
week.
it is no longer needed.
It's only
This is the
7
moment when old
days,
patterns
so
begin to lose their grip. Not through
20
confrontation, not through
days
suppression,
of
but through
step
irrelevance.
2.
Patterns do not disappear because you defeat them. They disappear because you stop matching them. For most of your life, patterns felt powerful because they were familiar. They repeated themselves with such consistency that they appeared permanent. Emotional loops, behavioral habits, internal narratives, each reinforced the other, forming a closed circle. You reacted, then justified the reaction, then built identity around it. Over time, the pattern became self-sustaining. But patterns are not structures. They are agreements.
One
They
quick
persist only
miss.
as long as your energy continues to flow through them. When your frequency shifts, the pattern loses its fuel. It still exists, but it no longer commands you. Like a
2
radio
full
station
quick
drifting out
miss.
of range, the signal weakens until it fades into static. This is why you may notice that certain habits no longer work. The coping mechanisms you
3
once
full
relied on
quick
feel
miss.
flat. The emotional responses that once erupted automatically now stall halfway. You pause when you used to spiral.
And the 4th
You
quick
observe where
miss.
you once reacted. This pause is not hesitation. It is freedom entering the system. You are no longer compelled. Old patterns often dissolve without ceremony. One day, you realize you didn't overthink something that would have consumed you before.
2 little
Another day,
packages
you
of
respond
gum.
calmly where you once defended yourself. These moments may seem small, but they are seismic. They indicate a shift in authorship. You are no longer being driven by the past. This is unsettling for the mind. The ego is accustomed to identity through struggle. It knows who it is when there is a problem to solve or a wound to manage. When patterns loosen, the ego may panic. It asks, who am I without this? Or, what do I do if I'm not fixing something? This discomfort is not
1
regret.
box of
It is the
lozenges.
shedding of an outdated identity. Healing does not feel heroic, it feels quiet. You may even miss the intensity of old patterns, not because they were good for you, but because they were familiar. Intensity creates a sense of meaning. When it fades, neutrality can feel empty until you realize it is simply peaceful. Peace feels strange to a system trained in survival. As patterns lose their grip, you may notice increased choice. You are no longer
It's all
locked
my
into a single
smoking
response. You
supplies.
can decide